Synergy. Welcome to Synergy. Live with Synergy. Live with Synergy. This is your host, Andrea John Baptiste. Welcome to Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize.
Greetings, friends, family, collaborators, fans, listeners. We thank you for tuning in today to Synergy, where business, music, and culture synchronize. Here on WDJY 99.1 FM Atlanta or online if you're listening, WDJYFM.com. Welcome. This is Andrea John Baptiste, and this is your edition of Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize. And today, we've got a show for you, an amazing show, great guests, great music, good vibes, good people. Yes, we do. Another fantastic edition. So today, we're doing a show on names you should know, right? Great artists, good music that you should know. If you don't know them, then you're going to know them after this show. And we're going to kick off today with Courtney Mellers, also known as Coozie, and Anthem Reggae Band. Greetings, Coozie.
Hello, and greetings to you too.
Right? It is such a pleasure.
Thanks for having me here,
It is our pleasure to have you here. I'm so happy that we've had a chance to connect and a chance to meet and to learn about all of your great works and definitely your fantastic energies. I mean, I got to tell you, we got some synergy going on in the last 24 hours and we just met, right?
Yes, definitely.
I give thanks for that. So, who is Courtney Coozie Mellers? Who are the members of Anthem Reggae Band? Tell us how you got started, who you are, and what you want our listeners to know about the great work that you're doing.
Well, me personally, I got started right out of high school. I was lucky enough that my sister, Maxine Miller, she was singing, and she was out of the stables of Wackies. Some people call it Bull Wackies in the Bronx, New York. It was on 241st Street in White Plains Road, and at the time, Sugar Minot used to be there. Wackies and Sugar Minot was partners, as a matter of fact. Youthman Promotion, he would bring some of his artists to Wackies to record, and vice versa. So I was there with Sugar Minot and Horace Andy and Johnny Osborne, which was my good friend. I haven't seen him in a while, but Johnny Osborne is a good friend of mine. I used to hang with him. Sugar became a good friend of mine as well. He was very encouraging when I first started. He kept on telling me that I need to come and record for Youthman Promotion, because he liked the way I wrote. I wrote a couple of songs for my sister. And Horace Andy actually was the first person to sit down with me and teach me a couple of things on the guitar. First couple of chords I learned was from Horace Andy. The next thing you know, I'm in the studio playing bass, and I'm playing on Horace Andy music. So,
what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of recording for artists from, I played bass for, back in the day. This was a long time ago, in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s when all of those artists used to be in the Bronx. I was playing bass on their recordings. For Sugar Minot and Johnny Osborne or Horace Andy and all the other artists that used to pass through, like Max Romeo was there all the time. So I played on his,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I played on an album for Lee Scratch Perry.
I'm just listening to the names and I'm hearing your voice and I've seen your pictures. We haven't had a chance to meet in person, but you are going Johnny Osborne, Horace Andy, Sugar Minot. I mean, those are certainly iconic figures in Jamaican music, Jamaican culture, and Jamaican musical cultural history. And I'm just thinking to myself, I heard you say you started out of high school and I'm thinking, wow, that seems like such a huge span of, of icons.
I went on, the first tour I did was, Wacky sent me on a tour to Japan. And I had went with, the first one was with Mikey Jarrett and Lone Ranger. So Lone Ranger's still a friend of mine. Lova is that Lova Low Bump. That tune.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you're dating, well, you've dated yourself and now you're dating me because I know the songs.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I went back again with Jackie Mittu, which was on the keyboards at the time, and U-Roy. That was a really lovely thing, because I became friends with the two of them as well.
Roy.
Yeah, after we came back to America, U-Roy actually called me to come and sing for him in New York when he did a show in Queens, him and the Scatolites. So, yeah, it kept the bond. And after a while, I started Anthem, and Anthem's been around for a lot of years. It looks a lot different right now. Me and my brother are the only two remaining members, the original foundation of Anthem. Latest person was a bass player that we picked up for like a year now, and it's a lovely thing, though, man. I really love the way the band, the direction, the look of the band, everything. We're working on a lot of stuff. Hopefully, I'm shooting for October for an album to be released. I don't want to skip by too many things, but yeah, that is my history. Coming back from high school to now, I've worked with a lot of different people, a lot of different artists. Done my own recording. Wacky's right now, he has an album. For me, it's just Coozie Mellers. I'm not exactly sure when he's going to release it, but he doesn't have an album that's going to be released soon.
Wow. Amazing. That is such a rich and glorious history in terms of the work that you've done and the folks that you have been working with, and a great start for Anthem. Now, of all of those fantastic names that you mentioned U-Roy, you mentioned Lee Scratch Perry, you mentioned Johnny Osborne, Wackies. I mean, were there or has there been any one or ones that you think have been more of an influence on your sound and your body of works than any, or do you think it's just kind of all of them brought together?
Well, as I kind of mentioned at one point, that Sugar Minott, he was in my ears all the time saying, he wanted me to record for him. As a matter of fact, after a while, as the band progressed, our lead singer, he was in another band, and we had the same manager, and his band broke up. So he was coming to our shows all the time and jumping on stage with us till finally I asked him to join the band. Even though I was the lead singer, I was playing guitar at the time because I switched over from bass to guitar. Guitar gave me the opportunity to put down the guitar and walk around the audience or do whatever I wanted to do. I didn't have to play all the time. So that's why I put down the bass. Anyway, he eventually turned into the main singer, because he has a really great voice, so let me see. I'm trying to remember what my point was. Anyway.
You were talking about Sugar Minott and being, one of the influences and bringing you into
Sugar Minott
really.
Told me. Yeah, Sugar says, even though we got a lead singer and stuff, he doesn't want me to stop singing, and he feels that I should still do my own thing. He says, Coozie, I got a rhythm here. I'm going to send it to you. I want you to voice it. I don't want Anthem. I want Coozie. That's because he noticed that I wasn't singing like I used to. And he says, this is the studio number. This is my home number. This is my cell number. This is my email. You have my Facebook. There's no reason that you can't get in contact with me, And Sugar is like, yo, anytime you want me to do a show and stuff like that, So Sugar was really a big influence on me, in every kind of way. I loved his music. And as I say, it was very inspiring to me to do what I do. So when I was younger, I know I used to write songs and try to sound like the way Sugar would sing, and the way Sugar would write and stuff like that. But then after a while, the band was listening to like a lot of Maxi Priest and a lot of Steel Pulse and Aswad. So the band, we've come full circle really, because that's what we used to play. Now we have our own sound and we're, doing our thing. Some of the guys in the band, like my nephews, were born here, Jamaican parents and everything. So they kind of brought their jazz and rock and whatever into the sound, I mean, we sound like what we sound. Everybody has a sound, no matter what. You try to put your sound together, but you're going to sound like what you sound like, basically. And we're going to have a really nice album. You guys got to check that out. But, yeah, people that the band has worked with, we've backed John Holt, Ken Booth, Leroy Sibbles, Marcia Griffith, Judy Mowat. We were actually Judy Mowat's backing band for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
We were Sister Carol's backing band for a while, too. We actually were on the Conan O'Brien show with Sister Carol. Yeah, I still got with Conan O'Brien show. One of the people that I really loved working with Luciano, we went to Bermuda with Luciano. We did a few shows around America and stuff with Lucy. Ed Robinson we've worked with. He's a good friend of mine. Denroy Morgan, he was here yesterday. I'm working on an album for Denroy, and did a whole bunch of singles. His EPK came out, and or EP that is came out, and it's me all over that. We work with Hopeton Lewis, Glenn Washington. We've backed in where is that? St. Croix. We went with Glenn Washington. We went to Bermuda with Sprague Benz and Louis Culture back then.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, even Pat Kelly, which was the lead singer for the Techniques. Yeah, we've backed him as well. And we just started working with Hezron, which is a great singer.
Yes.
So we're supposed to be doing a lot of stuff with him in the future.
Well, I can tell you that I am feeling quite vicariously overwhelmed.
So we've done a great body of work,
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Luciano, one of my favorites. My husband is a huge Luciano fan, and I think of all the artists beyond Bob and Tosh, Lucy is probably the one. Him, Anthony B., that we have probably, I would say maybe all as much as we are aware of his work, because we used to buy Lucy CDs like going crazy. Sister Carol, Royal and Loyal, I mean, just salute to her all the time in terms of her messaging, her delivery as a woman in the industry, the message that she shares, and of course Denroy Morgan and his legacy, and then relatively new to the stage, but doing amazing things with a fantastic personality and a great body of work and beautiful voice, Hezron. I mean, wow. I have goosebumps talking with you about all of the accomplishments of Anthem Reggae Band and all of the great works that you have done here stateside, but also around the world with phenomenal artists. So let me ask you, in all of that, what would you say, Coozie, is your musical mission? If you had to create a mission statement live on air right now with Synergy, what would it be? Put you on the spot.
It might sound kind of corny, but, just to spread love, basically.
No, not corny at all, because you know what? We need so much more of it.
Yeah. It's been said so much, but at the same time, I don't see it, physically, mentally, spiritually, anything. I think you should love everybody's child as you love your own. You should, maybe I think more socialist than anything. I'm not afraid to say that, because I figure that everybody should be born with the same amount of opportunity. And I think that people who think capitalists basically are the people that have it already, and they make money off of the poor and struggling. And they brainwash you to think that that's the best thing for you. But the people that have it are making money off of you. They're capitalizing off of you. You know, there's way more poor people than there are rich, but the poor people spend more money because we are the ones that are the majority. You know, how many times does a rich person go to a grocery store per week where you have all these poor people going to the same grocery store per week? You know what I'm saying? So we collectively spend more money, but we're the ones that get capitalized off of.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for those of you who go to church, believe in church, I think we just had some church up in here because, yes, and I'm going to go into to be poor is a crime, right, in my best Freddie McGregor voice. So, yes, we hear you. We salute you. We salute that musical mission of spreading love. And what you have just said, Coozie, is right on point. And so we're going to bring you back to talk about your album and give us a little bit more church one day, okay, in the very near future. I hope that you will accept. So, you know, the music industry is in, I like to say, kind of a disruption with streaming and, you know, looking at new ways to be sure that we're capturing royalties and collaborative partners. And we've got the digital space that's really growing. And then you've got some markets where we're still pressing CDs, others where we're not. You know, we have some markets where vinyl is making a stronger comeback and so on. So just a lot of very interesting things in my observation. How is it, what's interesting from that band's perspective? Because, you know, we talk to a lot of individual artists on the show, but from a band's perspective, what are some of the interesting things, or how is some of that quote-unquote market disruption maybe impacting the work that you're doing in terms of, I don't know, touring, wherever? You tell me.
Well, I know one thing. Technology destroyed the music business almost, you know, because with the age of digital downloads, even the fact that people can make their own CDs with all of what's going on right now, you know, it made it easier for people to actually be an artist, you know, because all you need is a computer. But yet still, you know, with all the digital stuff that's going on, firstly, as a musician, you're not getting as much work. What is this? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Are you still there? Because I'm getting all kind of craziness going on with my phone. Yeah. So you're not getting as much work.
Pause. So we're going to start back, and you're going to start with digital. Just start off with digital technology has changed the industry, and then go from there. Okay?
Okay. Yes, digital streaming and downloading and all the access that you have to music on the internet has changed the whole industry, because you're not making as much money anymore. Even though people are talking about putting their music on Spotify and what so have you, I remember watching a program where a guy was there saying that him and his team made the most money off of all this digital money that you can collect from, you know, Spotify and what so have you. And he was saying that it wasn't much money at all. So imagine the people that are not really up at the top of the industry. At one point, you would get with a record label and you would collect your publishing. And I remember music like Beyonce and people like that selling diamond. They had to get a whole different category because of so much music being sold. Nowadays, going gold is almost impossible. I remember seeing something where Ziggy and all of the people in reggae music that were selling the most music were selling maybe 25,000 copies, where people used to sell millions. Now they're selling, the most is selling like 25,000 copies because everybody's getting it free. So if you're lucky as a band or artist, if you have like festivals and you're touring, you might sell some CDs. because you're not going to really sell CDs anymore online. People are not buying it. They will download one song. And you're lucky to get people to download the song because they can actually pull it off of YouTube or other sites for free. So, yeah, the digital age really messed up the whole industry for the artists because you're not going to make as much money as you would have in the past. You know, sometimes people are saying to me, they wonder why they do it. So you're going to make all your money basically from the live shows. And even that kind of changed too because after the recession, which was many, many years ago, everything just kind of fell off. A lot of places that used to play music, they went out of business. And, you know, like I said, the whole thing just changed up with the digital stuff. And I don't see where, especially in like the United States, where reggae music in general is making a lot of money. I guess out in California, where you have the Cali reggae, some of those bands out there are, you know, making money because they have, I don't know,
big reggae spots.
Yeah. I've heard
opportunity.
They're playing reggae every day of the week out there, to what I hear. So I don't know. I got to head out there, I guess. I don't know. That Cali reggae is different than the reggae out here on the east.
From what I can understand, it's a very different market.
Yeah.
And there seems to be some very progressive things happening in that space as well.
Yeah. There was a conversation online recently of the Cali reggae and how to get into that industry and why Jamaican artists are not a part of it, you know. So I guess they have some big concerts and they're getting together and spreading the wealth out there. So we have to make sure that it spreads to over here on the East Coast. I see that they have some decent shows down there in Florida, too, the best of the best. You know, and some other stuff that's always going on because you guys are always warm down there. Whereas here, I'm up towards New York, you know, and reggae, I mean, the big reggae concerts really are the festivals
in the summer.
Yeah. So we have a small window.
Yes. I grew up in that in New York and spent a lot of time in that area. And yes, that's definitely the concentrated time. From the media perspective, you know, we get invitations and information kind of year-round from the Florida, Atlanta markets, and not even Atlanta so much, primarily the Florida markets, California, and then we see that boom come summer. As soon as it starts to warm up, you know, we start getting a lot of information about New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and so on. Wow, Coozie, I got to tell you, it's funny how time flies when we're having fun, you know? It's amazing. So what's next for Coozie and Anthem Reggae Band, and how do we stay connected with you?
Well, one way of staying connected is to visit our website, which is anthemband.com. Anthem as in the national anthem, anthemband.com. Or we would love for everybody to like our page on Facebook, which is Anthem Reggae Band on Facebook. That's Anthem Reggae Band. You could also follow us on Instagram, Anthem Reggae. And for us, as I was saying, we're working on an album right now. It's almost completed, so I'm looking for maybe October to release the album. That's going to be a great thing for me. It's been years since we actually put out an album, but one of my promises to the audience is that I'm going to put out an album every year. You know, a new day.
Awesome. And so every year, as you release your album, you are welcome to join us on Synergy for the release and for updates. I hope that you will choose to come back with us again after October, after the album release, so we can really do a walkthrough and do a listening party of your new album. Coozie and Anthem Reggae Band today on Synergy. where music, business, and culture synchronize. This is Andrea John Baptiste. And Coozie, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and introduce your song as we head towards our first break. Tell us about I Like the Way You Move.
Well, this is a song, actually, we've wrote it a long time ago, and we remixed it, and we're putting it out on single. This one is called I Like the Way You Move, so I hope everybody loves the way the Anthem is moving, towards some great music and great releases. So check it out.
Coozie and the Anthem Reggae Band, I Like the Way You Move.
But I don't understand, though God can make you feel the way you do. I know what I need to know. I ain't trying to let this go. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I want you, baby. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy thing you do, oh, oh, oh. I like the way you move, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy little thing you do, oh, oh, oh. For sure, baby. I like the way it flow, darling. Especially how you pose, baby. Doing that for me, oh. Good loving for sure, baby. I like the way it flow, darling. Especially how you pose, baby. Doing that for me, oh. Baby girl, I wanna know the deal. Really don't care if you sign and seal. All I can see is you and me. Baby girl, that's how it's supposed to be. Tell you the truth, man, I'm gonna tell you no lie. Really wanna slide up between them thighs. I sure do like the way you move. Baby girl, I like the way you move. Sexy thing you do. Oh, oh, oh. I like the way you move. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sexy little thing you do. Oh, oh, oh.
I'm attorney Rishma Eckert of Eckert Law Group, LLC. Clients often ask, do I need trademarks or copyrights? That depends on what you're trying to protect. Trademarks protect the brand like your business name and logo, while copyrights protect original works like songs and books. Contact us to discuss what's best for you. Initial consultations are complimentary and we charge flat fees. Call 786-571-7858 or email info@eckertlawgroup.com.
Greetings, 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 greetings. We are back with Nikki Brooks here on Synergy today, your favorite drive time show in Atlanta, WDJY 99.1 FM. Andrea John Baptiste on your airwaves for the next 20 minutes or so with a mega coming through, flowing through international artist, a name you should know, Miss Nikki Brooks. Nikki, welcome to Synergy. We are so excited to have you here.
And I am excited to be here.
And from what I understand, you spend quite a bit of time in Atlanta, so you better hail up your neighbors and friends.
Well, of course, we're all Atlanta massive. I don't know the areas well, so let me just say Georgia massive. definitely big up blessings to everybody and your listening audience, and definitely looking forward to you all, hearing and feeling my music, my sound, definitely. Because I back and forth, so I'm in Atlanta and I'm in New York, different places, but Atlanta right now is my base.
Okay, all right. You hear that, Atlanta? So stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled, because you know that when people are based in your hometown or in the area, that you start to see more shows and more information coming from them. So stay tuned. Watch this space and her space, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So, Nikki, we're just so thankful to have you, like I said. And tell us a little bit more about yourself. Who is Nikki Brooks, and how did you get started in the business?
Okay, well, Nikki Brooks. Nikki Brooks is a whole entire experience. So I'll try to break it down and make it a little bit not long-winded. I started music from a very young age at 7, on the stage at 7, singing from before that. But music is my entire life. Music is what I know, what I breathe, what I sleep, what I drink. Everything is music for me. I am a Black Hispanic from the U.S. Virgin Islands, so I kind of mix up. I have family in Anguilla, Antigua, Puerto Rico, all over the place, and that makes me who I am, because I believe in culture. I believe in knowing where I'm from and who I am, and so that transcends in all the music that I sing. I do believe I am an African descendant, because I am, and I'm just proud to be me. And being Nikki is very difficult, but that's who I am. Music for a lot of years. I ain't a young thing. I look like a young thing, but yeah. I've been in music for quite a while. I've sung with many bands: Imagination Brass, Image Band, Heart Attack, Vayu International, and I ventured out on my own. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I like to, you say you're from all over, and I love it, because it's a mix up and blend up. And you're probably the only other person I always say when people ask me where my husband is from, I say, oh, he's a Caribbeaner, because he too, born in Antigua of Dominican heritage, grew up in St. Croix. And so you spend a lot of time in the VI.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so tell us a little bit about those Crucian and St. Thomian and St. John influences in terms of your work, exposure, and so on.
See, what with me is, like I said, music is international. Music for me is everything. And music, it is so many music to love. So me being an entertainer, I don't only sing soca or calypso or reggae. I've sang it all. Country music, because the U.S. Virgin Islands is so rich in so many different cultures. We have people from all islands coming to our home because we're U.S. So what that gives the U.S. Virgin Islands like a melting pot. It was the basket of the Caribbean. Because years ago, that's what we was called, as the basket of the Caribbean, especially St. Croix, because it was so rich. Oh, yeah. I have a whole song about that. But so people used to come to our islands, you understand, and start their family. And so having all of that in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where I'm from, it's amazing. You understand? Because if you don't want to come to the United States for the fast living, we have all 4 islands that have a piece of everything that you could possibly want. You understand? If you're from St. Kitts and you ain't want to come up to the United States, we get Kittitians home, we get Jamaicans home, we get Dominicans home, we get everybody home. So it's cool to grow up and learn, different cultures, different way they cook food, their traditions, and it's blended and mixed with ours. So that's like the best thing ever.
Wow. It's so funny you say that, because I just spent, 2 weeks there, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. And as I was sitting on one of the beaches and just looking out, and I said to my husband, I said, I think this is the best part of the United States. particularly right now, listeners know that, I'm a little concerned in terms of where we are nationally, but I'm not going to get into the politics of what's going on. But I said to him, and I did not know that you all were called, or the VI was called the Basket of the Caribbean in the past, but I said, I feel like this is the best of the United States, whereas, like you just said, it's not the fast pace. You have, the beautiful tropical environment, the wind, air, great weather, and then on top of that, you find everything and everyone. And I said to him, so, this is a great place. If you don't want the mainland experience, you can still have some of the mainland, but you can still kind of keep a lot of your own traditions and so on. And while I was there, I don't we have some connections with the Dominican community here stateside, but I got more so of, somewhat of an immersion in the DA community there, particularly via food, because listeners know that I'm also a foodie. So, I think it's such a great thing that you're sharing, and I completely agree with you. And today I thank you for the information, because I learned something today. I never know that it was called the Basket of the Caribbean, the USCI.
Yes, what I will do is, after everything, I'll send you the song that refers to that, and even some history on it, if you like, because I think people forget that. You see, like, that's what that song, that Mistaken song, was so important. It is because people just forget we are still Caribbean. Yes, we're Caribbean all the way. The U.S. bought us. Yes, they bought us. We have the U.S. title, but and some security of being U.S., but indeed we are Caribbean folks, and I'm strongly for the small island massive, because we just get forgetting a lot or mistaken a lot, because our accent ain't as strong as another country accent. And we're not a country, we're just a territory. I think that we get kind of caught up in that. But listen, if you want a piece of everything, you got to come home. And that's to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and that's true.
Yes, I agree. I'm raising my hand right here. I agree. So now, I don't think we've ever had anybody on this show that talks about pan. And so, learning more about you, I found out that you have a thing for pan. And so tell us, because I don't even know if the listeners know what the heck I'm talking about. For those of you who speak Spanish, I'm not talking pan y mantequilla. I'm not saying bread. But so tell us about pan and your love for pan, Nikki.
See, pan originated in Trinidad, and so in our islands we have Trinidadians also. We have, our history goes so far back, and I just love the sound of it, the sweet sound of it. A pan could play any song out there, and it just have that rhythm, that tone, that soothing. I mean, it might be soothing for me and not for others, you understand? But it soothes me. And I just love it. I'm a lover of all drums, and for me, pan is like, at some point it had that drum feeling for me, and I just love it. When you hear a pan knock, you got to go. You understand? So that's why that song play me like pan, because when you watch a man playing pan, he's so in tune with that, and the skill it takes to play the pan. I would like that skill to play on my body.
Ooh,
so that's what the song is about. Play me like pan is about playing my body like you play that damn pan coming down the road. When the sun beating on your body and you're sweating and you're running down your hands, but you ain't letting them little sticks go. You just drumming away.
Wow. So, I mean, when I talk and think of steel pan, yes, it is very soothing. It makes me want to walk up my waist and certainly get my groove on. But now you got me thinking in a whole nother direction, girl. Play me like pan.
Pan,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Like
Yes,
the song
yes,
go play me like Pan, like I am your favorite song. You know when man like something like that, man like football, you know what I mean? And it ain't
yes.
a football thing. They don't want to be bad at. They're in this football thing. They're watching this football. So just imagine a man who loves Pan so, and he could just you could just envision he playing your body like a pan, hard, soft, mellow, soothing. What? That's the best thing ever.
You heard it here on Synergy today, Atlanta. Nikki Brooks wanting the gentlemen to play her like a pan, play me like a pan. And Nikki, I raise my hand for that too. That sounds amazing. Yes, yes, yes. So, coming and I'm calling you a Caribbeaner today because you certainly have the mix up and blend up, like we said, and you're from all over. Talk to us about what is the Calypso monarch, because sometimes some of our listeners, they don't know all of that about Carnival, Juve, and all of that. Tell us about the Calypso monarch and what's important about your monarchy, because you are a Calypso monarch, and there's something very special about when you became Calypso monarch. Talk to us about that.
Yes. When I won't say the year. When I won the Calypso Monarch competition in Synchronizes, I was the first woman to have ever won that title. I was, I'll tell you something. In life, like a woman in this industry is the hardest thing. And Calypso is about, soca is jamming, making your waist move. You're doing that is a sexual vibe. You understand? And it's a good feeling vibe. Not always sexual, but it has good feeling. It makes you feel good. Soca makes you feel good. Calypso, no. It'll make you think. It gives you a story, a two-sided story. You can look at it one way than the other, and then it just makes you think, because we have social commentary, we have political calypso. Calypso is a story. It is how the artist portraying and feeling about the subject they're singing about. You understand? But it makes you sit down and be like, wow, yeah, this is real. And when I won that competition, it was the greatest thing for me, and it still is. Nobody can take that crown from me because I was the first woman. And what made it more powerful for me is because I was good. Listen, I used to sing on stage with Kitchener, singing Sandra. I sang on stage with Mighty Pat. I sang on stage with a lot of local Calypsonian and those that came from away from Trinidad. And I was always good to sing as an artist. But the minute I entered the arena to compete against the Calypsonians in my island is when it became an issue. You understand? Because one, I was young. Two, I'm a woman. And you can't talk to me the way you could have talked to the other contestants. I'm very straightforward. I know who I am. And I know who I was or am from time I smile. I know what I want. I know who I am. And I ain't going to bend. I ain't going to break. I might bend, but not break. So when I won that, it just made me feel like, you know what? I could do anything I possibly want to do. And I can sing any kind of music I possibly want to do. And one of my idols is singing Sandra and Tigress, because Tigress came on a stage one time and she said, man does beat woman, and say that we're bad. Let me tell you something. When I hear that song and the power and the being able to command the people to listen to my story, man, that was like, oh, that was it for me. I became a huge fan of Calypso. I used to sing R&B. I still do jazz and everything else. But when I hear them three ladies, Francine singing Sandra and Tigress, Eastland Orr was also good. When I heard them sing with that power and commanding the audience, I was like, that's it. This is where I'm gonna tell my stories, and so that's why it's so great for me, and that's why it became a big thing. So when sometimes I feeling down, I'd look back and be like, you know what? You do this. So if you do this, you can do anything.
You can do that.
And see, for my daughter that sings, when she know my history, and so if mommy could do this, I could do that too. So that it's a great thing.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. You know, prom, and we got to salute Tigress, Francine singing, Sandra, and all of the musical women, because we know that being a woman, at least from every female artist that we have on here, you know, whether we ask them explicitly or not about the journey as a woman, they share in terms of some of the differences and the experiences. So woman to woman, shouting out some of the female legacies and leaders in the music industry who are still inspiring other women. Yeah. And certainly to you, Nikki, you know, as you inspire your daughter and some of the young women. What do you say to young women trying to come up in this business? What do you tell your daughter as she is making her moves?
Well, I'll tell you this. My daughter I'm light complected. My daughter's dark. And at one point back home, she was being bullied because they were saying that she wasn't Nikki Brooks' daughter. And what I told her is, silly, you know what I mean? What I told her is, and I always tell her, at some point, you got to understand that you got to be a duck. Words do affect at times if you allow them. You are never what somebody say you are. You are who you are because of who you are, who God created you to be. They're not a part. They're not relevant. You understand, in your life. And then she asked me, well, what relevant? I was like, it doesn't matter what they say. You have a voice. You're beautiful. You're a good person, and you're gonna be able to conquer anything you want. And I approach ladies and I tell them the same thing. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy being a woman, period. And a woman in any industry, government, music, acting, it's the same thing. We the gate, and we the gate hard. And if we have to cry or break every time somebody tell us no, then that's what we're going to, like, it just makes you feel worse. For me, I don't break. You tell me no today, and I'm very persistent. I'm going to come again tomorrow, and I'm going to come again the day after that. And every time I come in with a different thing. Every time I come in, I just adding more stuff. You understand? And I'm just persistent. I do not give up. You know, I'll tell you this. I'm 48 years old, September 28th. That's when I'm making 48. I do not look 48. And if I, at 48, thick thighs and kicking it and doing what I have to do to make my dream or my passion, I can go for it. And if I could do it still at 48, anybody could do it. Trust what I'm telling you. It's not going to be easy. But God didn't give us nothing that we could not bear. That's why women bear kids and not men. Because when it comes to being a woman, it's a lot more to us than just in between our thighs. Yes, some women just expose the body and stuff like that. I'm one of them. When I ready girl, I will walk around naked if I have to. But that's because I'm proud of who I am. But I don't judge anybody on their road to where they have to go. You understand? But as a woman in this world, we need to start sticking together and lifting other women up, because we have a tendency as women to always shun other women, throw shade, and you understand? And people feed off of that energy. You know, be like, oh, they can't never get their stuff together. You understand? And in reality, like, we're dealing with so much. And I just tell women that fight for what you want. Don't wait for somebody to give you a call. Yes, you may have left your number. They didn't call you day one. Day two, what are you doing? You get them a call, say, hey, just, following up. And, you got to be persistent. You got to go for what you want, because nobody ain't going to give it to you.
A good word up in here today on Synergy on 99.1 FM with Nikki Brooks. And Nikki Brooks is from all over, you all. And let me tell you something. Age don't matter. It's mind over matter. Women need to come together and lift each other up. You heard it here first from Nikki Brooks. And Nikki, I think we need to shout out a particular woman who put us together, because from what my experience with her, she's always lifting other sisters up. At least she's always lifting me up, and I always do my best to try to lift her up. So I want to say a particular shout out today to the one and only Diva J, for putting Nikki and I together. And you call her what?
I just call her Esther.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But I'll tell you about, I know Esther for years, and Esther is a ball of fire. And
yes.
And that's why I love about her. Like she will let me rant, and then at the end of my rant is when I come to my senses after ranting, because we have to rant. And and she's just so soothing. The way she talks to you, like it's never at a 10. She's always at a neutral, even if you the other person's at a 10. And so she's just an amazing. She's always been amazing. She used to dance. Like Esther have done it all, and that's why. Yes. We actually had her on the show, Diva J, for a couple months ago, and I got to tell you, amazing people. Wow, it's funny how time flies when we are having fun. So tell us, Nikki, how that we could stay connected with you and stay tuned for, I know you're coming to Miami soon, and we will certainly let our listeners know when you are here. But tell us how they can stay connected and follow Nikki Brooks on social media. Definitely. I'm new to Instagram, but you can definitely follow me at I am Nikki Brooks. That's IAMNIKKIBROOKS. And I'm also I am Nikki Brooks on Facebook. Definitely, all my music is available on all digital platforms: iTunes, Spotify, CD Baby, Google, anything you want, it's there. Definitely.
Awesome. Now tell us about the song Mistake and introduce your song as we say. Till next week, Synergy Atlanta, tune in 99.1 FM. Tell us about the song, Nikki Brooks.
Mistaken is a song about my home, my territory home, my 4 islands called, I don't want to be mistaken anymore. I want to be recognized as a U.S. Virgin Islander, and that's what the song is about. Not being called Haitian, Jamaican, Trini, or Bajan. If you're tired of being mistaken, take up something and wave the flag. So that's a song for the love of my island. So that's why that song was created.
AG Studios.
We live where they come vacation, showing my home appreciation. This time of year a celebration. If you're proud where you come from, this is your time to confront. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Put your ring and your thumb down. Hail the VI if you're born and you're raised in this place. Let me see your hands up in the sky. No, we're not Haitian, Jamaican, Trini, or Bajan. If you're tired of being mistaken, take up something and wave. Take up something and wave. Pick up something and wave. Pick up something and wave. 'Cause I ain't shame, proud to be a Crucian. Ain't shame, proud to be a Tomian. I ain't shame, proud to be St. Jonian. Ain't shame, proud to be a Tolian. Where I from, we got no chill. Gold waistline can't keep still. 'Cause here we got good people and good vibes. Sweet music pumping. When I rap long. When I rap, I go hard. This is a lifetime thing. Here's the VI if you're born and you're raised in this place. Let me see your hands up in the sky. No, we're not Haitian, Jamaican, Trini, or Bajan. If you're tired of being mistaken, pick up something and wave. Pick up something and wave. Pick up something and wave. Pick up something and wave.
That's our time. That's our chat. Now it's time to call it a wrap. Tune in next week at 5 for another episode of Synergy Live, where music, business, and culture synchronize. Until then, hit us up online at livewithsynergy.com. Synergy is a production of Black Iowa TV.